Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by golden fields, there lived a little girl named Jasmine. She had the brightest smile, twinkling eyes, and a heart full of dreams. Jasmine loved to dance. She would twirl around in her small house, making up her own steps, logging as her feet tapped against the floor. She lived happily with her mother and father, who adored her. Her mother would clap as she danced, and her father would lift her into the air, calling her his little star. Life was simple, but it was full of love. Then, one cold rainy night, everything changed. Jasmine's parents fell sick, and despite the healer's best effort, they did not wake up the next morning. The house that once echoed with laughter became silent. Jasmine was too young to live alone, so she was sent to stay with her Aunt Lila, her mother's sister. Aunt Lila was a kind woman with warm brown eyes and a gentle smile. She lived in a tiny house at the edge of the village, where she worked hard to make a living. She sold fruit in the market, sewing cloth at night to earn extra money. When Jasmine arrived, Aunt Lila welcomed her with open arms. She gave Jasmine a small bed by the window, covered her with a soft blanket, and kissed her forehead. "My sweet girl, in our life has been unfair," she whispered. "But you are Sapphire. He will take care of you." Jasmine nodded, but deep inside, she felt lost. She missed her parents every day. Aunt Lila was poor, but she did everything to make Jasmine happy. She cooked delicious food, told bedtime stories, and even found all fabric to sew Jasmine a pretty dress. But life in the village was not easy. The other children, dressed in fine cloth, often made fun of Jasmine. "Look at her shoes," one girl giggled. "They are full of holes. She looks like a little beggar," another boy teased. Jasmine lowered her head and walked away. She wanted to tell them that she wasn't always poor. She wanted to say that once, she had a home filled with love. But the word stuck in her throat. She stopped playing outside. She stopped dancing. Every time she thought of twirling in the street, she imagined the other children looking at her. One evening, as she sat by the window, Aunt Lila noticed her sadness. "Jasmine, why don't you dance anymore?" she asked. Jasmine shrugged. The other kids say he looks silly. Aunt Lila knelt beside her. "Do you know what he see? He see a strong, beautiful girl with the heart of a dancer. It doesn't matter what others say. What matters is what you believe." Jasmine wanted to believe those words. But every time she tried, the cruel laughter echoed in her mind. One morning, as Jasmine walked to the market with Aunt Lila, a royal messenger stood in the village square. "Here ye! Here ye!" he shouted, unrolling a golden scroll. "By order of His Majesty, the King, a grand dancing competition will be held at the palace." The crowd gasped. "The winner shall receive a scholarship to the Royal Dance School and a special gift from the King." The messenger continued. Jasmine's had skipped a beat. A dancing competition? She had always dreamed of being a real dancer. The children in the village chattered excitedly. "I'm going to win," a boy boasted. "My father will buy me a new dress for the competition," a girl said. Jasmine's excitement faded. How could she compete? She didn't have fancy clothes. She didn't even have proper shoes. That night, as she lay in bed, her attached. The dream was right in front of her, but it felt impossible. For days, Jasmine tried to push a thought of the competition away. At night, when Aunt Lila was asleep, she would tiptoe to the back of the house and dance in the moonlight. She imagined herself twirling in a grand ballroom, the king watching in amazement. But when she looked down at her bare feet, reality crashed over her like a wave. She sighed. What is the use of dreaming when you have nothing to wear? One afternoon, as she walked through the marketplace, she heard two women talking. "They say the best dancer in the kingdom will be there," one woman said. Of course. Only the guilty will win. They have the finest cloth and the best t-shirt, the other replied. Jasmine felt her heart sink. Maybe they were ragged. Maybe dreams were only for the rich. She turned away, deciding once and for all. She would not enter the competition. That same evening, as Jasmine helped Aunt Lila carry fruit basket, she saw an old cobbler's shop at the edge of the market. She had passed it many times before, but today, something made her stop. In the shop window sat a pair of pink shoes. They were simple but beautiful, made of soft fabric with tiny golden beads stitched along the side. Jasmine pressed her hand against the glass. They were perfect, she whispered. A gentle voice spoke behind her. Do you like them, child? She turned to see an old woman with keen eyes and a warm smile. Jasmine blushed. Oh, yes. But he could never afford them. The woman studied her for a moment. Then, to Jasmine's surprise, she lifted the shoes and placed them in her hand. These are meant for you, she said. Jasmine's eyes widened. But, why? The woman smiled mysteriously. So met him, the right shoes find the right dance. Jasmine hesitated, then slipped them onto her feet. The moment she did, something changed. She felt light air, as if she could fly. She twirled once, twice, 3 times. For the first time in a long while, she felt strong, graceful, and unafraid. The woman chuckled. There, you see? The magic was always inside you. The shoes only help you believe. Jasmine looked down at the pink shoes and smiled. Maybe she could enter the competition. Maybe she could win. Jasmine hurried home with the pink shoes tucked carefully under her arm. She felt as if a door had opened in her heart, letting in a ray of hope. That night, when Aunt Lila was asleep, Jasmine put on the shoes and stepped outside. She took a deep breath and began to dance. Her feet moved effortlessly, as the shoes were guiding her. With each step, she felt stronger, braver, and more graceful. The wind carried her movement, and the moonlight shimmered on the golden bead of her shoes. For the first time in a long while, she wasn't afraid of being looked at. She wasn't dancing for the village children. She was dancing for herself. Every evening, Jasmine practiced. She twirled and leaped, imagining the grand stage at the palace. She memorized every movement, perfecting her routine. Aunt Lila soon noticed. You've been staying up late, my dear, she said one morning. Jasmine hesitated. Aunt Lila, do you think he can win the competition? Aunt Lila cupid Jasmine's face in her hand. Winning isn't the most important thing, sweetheart. But if you love to dance, then you must try. Jasmine nodded. For the first time, she believed that maybe, just maybe, she could do it. The day of the grand competition finally arrived. The village square was buzzing with excitement. A family made their way to the palace. Jasmine wore a simple but clean dress. The pink shoes gleamed on her feet. As she and Aunt Lila entered the palace gates, Jasmine gasped. The ballroom was enormous, with a ceiling, golden chandelier, and a shiny marble floor. Dozens of children were already there, dressed in elegant gowns and expensive dancing slippers. Jasmine suddenly felt small. What if I don't belong here? She whispered. Aunt Lila squeezed her hand. You do. Just dance from your heart. One by one, the dancers performed. Some twirled like spinning top, others leaped like birds. The crowd clapped and cheered. Jasmine's turn was coming closer. Her heart pounded. What if I forget the steps? She tugged. What if they look at me? Then, she looked down at her pink shoes. And she remembered. The magic wasn't in the shoes. It was inside her. Taking a deep breath, she stepped onto the stage. The room fell silent. Then the music began, and Jasmine danced. She moved like the wind, graceful and free. She twirled, leaped, and spun, her pink shoes shining under the lights. She felt powerful, unstoppable. By the time the music ended, the crowd erupted in applause. Jasmine stood there, brittle, her hat soaring. She had done it. She had truly danced. The king himself rose from his seat. He smiled at Jasmine. "That was magnificent," he said. "What is your name, child?" Jasmine swallowed. "My name is Jasmine, your majesty." The king nodded. "You have a gift, young one. Not just in dance, but in courage. And for that, you shall be the winner of this competition." The crowd cheered. Jasmine covered her mouth, tears filling her eyes. She had won. A servant brought out a golden medal and placed it around Jasmine's neck. But that wasn't all. The king smiled. "I promise, the winner shall receive a scholarship to the Royal Dance School. You will train with the best dancer in the kingdom." Jasmine turned to Aunt Lila, her eyes wide. Aunt Lila wiped her tears and nodded. "You deserve this, my dear." Jasmine felt warmth spread through her chest. She had always dreamed of this moment, but now she realized, winning wasn't the most important part. The most important part was that she believed in herself. Jasmine's life changed after that day. She moved into the Royal Dance School, where she trained under the kingdom's finest teacher. She made new friends, children who didn't care about rich or fancy clothes. They only cared about dance. She worked hard every day, growing stronger and more confident. But she never forgot where she came from. Every weekend, she returned to the village to visit Aunt Lila. One day, as she walked through the village, she saw the same children who had once mocked her. They looked at her with admiration. "Jasmine," one of them said shyly, "you're amazing. Will you teach us how to dance?" Jasmine smiled. "Of course," she said. She gathered the village children in the square and began to show them the first steps of dance. And as she twirled, she realized something. The pink shoes had helped her once, but now she didn't need them anymore. Because the real magic, the magic of confidence, hard work, and courage, was inside her all along. This story teaches kids that courage, hard work, and self-belief can help them achieve anything, no matter their background or challenge.